Hey everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it's time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, the world where we delve... I fuck it up again. You know, I come up with this catchphrase, and then I swear to God, I screw it up every single time. Let's try it again. Hi everybody, it's me, Angel Benton, and it's time for another edition of Angel Sudsy Recap, where we delve into the world of daytime television and do a few reality shows on the side. And one of the reality shows that we're doing is Below Deck Med. And I've got to upload this quick because as soon as I'm done with this one, this recap, I'm off to Vegas. So it's been real, Glendale. It's peace out. All right, so Below Deck. First of all, I love Hannah. I've loved Hannah forever, so I'm just gonna say that I think she's fierce. I really do. Second of all, I love Bugsy as well. I really do. I felt like we bonded after we both lost our grandmothers, and I totally apparently got drunk and posted it all on YouTube and was a crying, weeping mess. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. My mom disagrees. Whatever. Anyways, so Bugsy. I hate it when she has conflict with Hannah because they're both good at their jobs, but they're both kind of, I don't know. Professionally, I've worked with people like Bugs who are nice to your face, but then they're secretly jockeying for your position. But I don't think she is, though. I really don't. I think she's happy to be a second stew, but she just wishes Hannah would step up more. But that's very passive-aggressive, actually. Instead of going up to Hannah and saying, okay, well, I wish you would do it this way, or, if you were a good chief stew, you would do it this way, or just saying anything, or not saying anything and keeping it completely to yourself. Do I have something on my lip? Looks like I cut my lip. I think it's just the lighting. Anyways, she was like, she is nice to Hannah's face, but then when she gives the interviews, it's kind of like she's a little bit, I don't want to say cunty, but you get what I'm saying. So, that is unfortunate because I think Bugsy does a great job at what she does. And, for this particular boat, she's not the chief stew. So you either accept the position or you don't, right? Now, here's the thing. So so today, on this past week's episode, there was a whole issue with the deck crew because one of the guests, they were all driving out and had this big phallic-looking banana that was being towed by the tender, and the chicks fell off the banana, and they had the wind knocked out of them. So Bobby just dives right in, and Max dives in, and they get the girls to safety. But it's really that was kind of scary. But she was like, he was like, what year is it? And she's like, 2016, which would make sense because this was filmed last year. And he's like, and where are you at right now? And she's like, Croatia. He's like, we'll be good. We're good. So she was like, I'm sorry, I just had the wind knocked out of me. Even Captain Sandy knocked on her door and was like, are you okay if you need anything? I mean, that's to me, that's a good service. And again, that is the sign of someone who really cares for the boat that she works on. So I give Sandy loads of credit for that. And you're also starting to see Sandy's level of I'm fucking pissed off. Because she had her deck crew come in to the dock, and once again, she said at the beginning of the episode, she's like, I swear to God, I never want to see a line in the water, because if something gets caught up in the prop, then we have just and I could fuck up the dock, I could fuck up the boat, I could, have us in some serious financial trouble if we don't keep that line out of the water, because it goes in the water the very first time after the first guest, the boobs chicks. So Mr. Skin, that was his name, Mr. Skin. Well, they actually left before they were able, because remember last week they had issues with the anchor. It took them 9 hours, but they were able to sort out the issues with the anchor without having to cut it, and they were fine. So thank goodness for that. All right. So they, left. The second crew came on, and there was some bickering between the two. There was some issues about the tips, and the old guy, I'm not gonna lie, the old guy was kind of a cheapskate. He really was. Like, he's like, I could leave a $10,000 tip. I could leave a $200 tip. That's not the point. And he's like, that is the fucking point. It's just an extra $200 a person. And if you don't want to do that, that's fine. I'll pay for you, whatever. Because that's ridiculous. They shouldn't have to suffer because you're a cheapskate. I mean, like, I'm glad someone told him. And this one chick's like, I feel bad energy. Are you guys okay? To the deck crew. And they're like, babe, we're all good down here. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't come not looking for trouble and there isn't any. You know, look for trouble when there's trouble, right? So speaking of trouble, Malia. I just met a girl named Malia. No, so Malia is a mess. She is a mess. So every guy except Maxie, who is devoted to his girlfriend. Wait, let's talk about Maxie real quick. So we briefly met Maxie's girlfriend. Well, we didn't meet, but we saw pictures of her and he was talking about her. And he said she's a dancer in Dubai. Now, I'm sorry, but anytime anyone says anything about Dubai, Lisa Scott Lee, besides the fact that you moved to Dubai, because apparently so I'm going to take a quick pause from Below Deck real quick. So, you know, I'm obsessed with the British supergroup Steps. And if you saw the supergroup, I call them a supergroup, but the British pop group Steps, I'm obsessed with them. And I watched their making of, like, I had to scour the internet to try to find shit because they don't want us knowing shit here in America, apparently. Whatever. Anyways, so one of the big things that came out of the first reunion episode was that Lisa packed up and moved to Dubai. So she lives in Dubai with her husband and her 2 children. And apparently there's a big stereotype in England that if you only live in Dubai if you've got lots of money, if you're really rich. And people were asking her, so are you really rich? Now, here's the thing. Let's say you're doing a talk show, or not even a talk show. I spent 40 minutes with Kyle, right? Because I did 10 interviews. If I had asked him, wow, at the end of that 40 minutes and we'd gotten to know each other and started to form a rapport, and I was like, hey, are you really that rich? Do really rich people there's a way you can phrase it, because Andy asks it all the time, Andy Cohen, on Watch What Happens Live, but it never comes off as rude and abrasive. But when this chick who didn't know Steps from Adam, right, and she's like, so you live in Dubai, are you really rich? And the first words out of Claire's mouth were, how rude. I mean, she's right, though. I mean, like I said, unless you, even for just 40 minutes, unless you build if you just come in asking that question, the question in itself is not rude. How it's asked and the way it's asked and when it's asked, that's what makes it rude. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, Maxie, back to Below Deck. Thank you for going with me on that little journey. So Maxie from Below Deck was talking about his girlfriend and how she's a dancer in Dubai. And they're like a stripper or a dancer? And then he hesitated on answering. So I'm going, look, if you've got a chick with her number in the Dubai date book, whatever. You know, if you know about it and you're cool with it, she's cool with it, whatever, who cares? You're both grown ass people, right? Who gives a shit, right? But he was like, I think he was trying to say she's more of a burlesque dancer, where it's kind of naughty, but it really isn't. I believe that's the point that he was trying to get across. I don't know. But I think he's hot. I think Maxie's fucking hot as hell. Anyways, so back to Malia. So every guy on the boat has a crush on Malia. And of course, Bobby's iced out. And he thinks it's because of something that Hannah did. And the reality is Malia has zero interest in Bobby at all. However, the 2 guys that have turned her head are Adam, the chef, and her boss, Wes, the bosun. And she made out with Wes first when they all went out to Croatia that one night after they got rid of their cheapy guests, who actually weren't cheap. They actually left a decent tip because they only had a 1-day charter. So everyone else on that boat wasn't that cheap. So anyways, and then later that night she starts making out with Adam. And we see that next week Lauren calls her out on it and says, if you make out with 2 guys on the same boat on the same night and they share a room, it's a little bit tacky. Well, and then Adam gets all pissed off at Hannah and calls her a slut. Excuse me? Really? But you're okay. I'll save that for next week. Thank you all so much for logging on today. I do appreciate it. Please feel free to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Angel Benton. You can hashtag Below Deck Med to talk Below Deck Med, or you can also hashtag Days to talk Days of Our Lives, which I'll be doing at some point, either tonight or tomorrow morning, after I get back to Vegas. So thank you so much, and feel free to hit that little subscribe button on YouTube to subscribe to my videos and get them sent to you every day. I appreciate it, everyone. Have a wonderful night. Peace out. Wubba, wubba, wubba.